All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I wasn't going to go live, and I was going to skip Wednesday and just go live Sunday like I usually do. But I was like, oh, I have Friday off, so let me just, do the live stream and not skip a live stream during the week. I was just going to take Wednesday off and just not do a live stream, but I was like, let me just do one. But yeah, so in today's live stream, we're going to talk about a couple things to focus on in 2026. When it comes to finances and things like that, the market was open today. Not much happened in the market. Bitcoin is again around that same mark. NASDAQ, Dow, New York Stock Exchange, I don't know if they went up slightly or went down slightly, but not much change in the equities either. So this week is very quiet, not much happening. I think we're waiting for the beginning of January again to get that CPI data, and then that'll get the new year going, and then hopefully we get some price movement in either direction so we can see where we're going. But yeah, the first thing I want to focus on going into 2026 is budgeting. Okay, for me, budgeting, I always think I have the money to pay for something because I'm always using a credit card. And I alluded to this in one of my live streams. It's just easy to purchase something with your credit card. I always swipe. Every day I'm just swiping my credit card. I'll look at it, but I'm not really saying, okay, this is my budget for the week. Am I going over my budget? So what I've been doing is I've been trying to just use the debit card, which initially I was totally against. But what I do, I don't keep a substantial amount of money in my debit card, so that way if it gets compromised, I'm not in trouble. Now let me check to see if my mic is working. Let me get my phone really quick. Give me a second. Got to make sure the mic is working. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Let me get my phone really quick. Give me a second. All right, looks like my mic is working. But yeah, so I usually just use my credit card. Swipe it, and I always feel like I have the money, which I always do. But I'm not sticking to a certain budget. I'll go over substantially when it comes to things like groceries or going out to eat. Things like that. I'm just not paying attention to the budgeting, and a lot of it is because I'm using a credit card. And yeah, I'm getting those extra points every month. I get about 60 to 70 bucks a month from purchases, but I'm going over my budget hundreds of dollars. So it's not really equaling out those points that I'm getting. And I think that's happening for most people. Most people use a credit card because we tend to get a higher limit, right? $10,000 limit, and we just tend to go over. So that's going to be my focus for 2026, budgeting, making sure that I'm paying attention to what's going out and what's coming in, right? And does that match up? Do I have a specific budget? And what's going to help me do that is the debit card. Hopefully this is freezing slightly. But yeah, what's going to help me do that is use a debit card for most purchases and keep a certain amount in the debit card so that in the checking account, so that way I don't go and get compromised or have some type of fraud, and then I have to dispute that within the bank. So again, hopefully it'll get itself together. So yeah, that's going to be that. And then also writing things down. I don't really like to use the budgeting apps. For me, writing what I spent for the day is a lot better because I can just see, okay, this is what I spent. And I think if you go through that writing exercise, now you don't need to physically write it. You could write it in notes, or you can write it in a piece of paper. But I think writing it down helps you just physically see, okay, this is what I spent for the day. You can use a tracker, you can use an app, notes, pen and paper. But I think that's a very important part if you want to dial in what you're budgeting. Okay, so first you want to set that limit, and then you want to stick to it by not just pure willpower, but setting up that debit card to a certain amount. You have all your money in a separate savings, so that way you can't dip in and maybe even a separate bank account. So I have separate bank accounts, and it's easy to save and put money away where that savings account doesn't have any debit card. So yeah, that's kind of the focus. The first focus of 2026 is budgeting and making sure I'm staying within a budget. Because again, using credit card, it's just easy to go over a limit. So the second area of focus in 2026 is going to be AI. Okay, I don't think AI is slowing down. We're hearing all these data centers being built and all this GPU power needed and all these companies, being established to solve real world problems. So I don't think AI is going to slow down, and I really think it's going to be the next wave that makes people a lot of money, taking people to their first six figures, first seven figures, if you're in the right play. So there's two things with AI that you should be doing, right? One, you should be using it on a daily basis. And at this point, before I was like, okay, you can use the free version. Obviously, ChatGPT has a free version. There's free versions online that, there's spin-offs from Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT, and it's free, but you get a limited amount of use. And what you're going to see is when you start using AI, you start using it a bunch of times out of the day, and I probably use it 40 to 50 times, like requests a day on ChatGPT. So that's why I upgraded to the premium version, and it's just unlimited. So at this point, I think everybody at this point should have a premium version of an AI model that they can go to every day to ask questions if you're having trouble with something. I'm telling you, as soon as you use it, you're not going to want to go back to Googling anything. You're going to just use this all day, right? So that's the first way you should be using AI. You should just be using it, right? And then secondly, you should be investing in AI in some capacity. Now, this could be through investing in a company where you don't own it. You're just, shares, whether it's a crypto play or a stock play, or building your own business using AI. So you could do either of the one, I think is good enough. For some people, it's too much technology. They don't want to deal with building the company. So for those people, it may suit them to invest in a company that's dealing heavily in AI, and they're going to benefit from the upside. And those people that want to be a little more ambitious or could handle building out a company or have the technical capability to do so, use AI to build some type of business, right? So those are kind of the two focus areas within AI. You need to be using it on a daily basis. And again, I do suggest people get the premium version of whatever they're using, because you're gonna be using it multiple times a day, 20 to 30 times a day, and usually the free version doesn't give you many requests for the day. 3 to 4 requests. You're gonna go over that easily. And then in a lot of these models, they're not expensive. ChatGPT costs $20. I honestly think in the future they're gonna raise that price because of the data center demand and things like that. And I'm shocked they haven't raised the price yet, because I mean it's very helpful, right? It could be that there's a lot of competitors in the space, and that people can go elsewhere, so they got to be competitive with the prices. But it's a very valuable tool, and I really think everybody should be using it. I mean, I use it for health, finances, you name it. I'm using it all day, right? So yeah, those are the two areas that I'm focusing on in 2026: budgeting, making sure I'm knowing what's going out, what's coming in, and making sure I'm sticking to a budget. And again, credit card for most people it's a lot to keep up with. They give you more, than you actually have in your bank account. The limit is 5 to 10 grand, which a lot of you don't have. So you tend to go over and think you have the money to spend when you really don't. And then AI, right? AI is the second thing. I don't think it's going to slow down. I think it's going to present the best investing opportunities. Again, you could start your own business or be investing in some type of company or crypto or whatever it is that's dealing with AI. Again, you got to do your own research. I don't recommend, I'm not recommending any company or anything like that. You got to, but I think if you're not invested in AI or dealing with it in some capacity, you're going to be losing out on a lot of money. That's just my opinion. So yeah, those are the things I'm looking forward to 2026. Again, the market today very lackluster, not much because of the holiday week, and hopefully maybe it picks up next week as we transition into the beginning of January. But not much has happened today, right? All right, that's pretty much it. Let's play a few games of Blitz, and we'll be done for today. Actually, get some water. Get some water. Give me a second. Yeah, like in where I live, it's pretty much dead. Like everybody's either out, in a different state. They went out to visit family, or people are just inside. Not many people are out today. I mean, it was a lot more than yesterday, obviously, because yesterday was Christmas. But yeah, and my blitz score has went down significantly. I was just doing a bunch of playing and not focusing, so I got to get this score back up to at least 1,300. That was close. Well, that's where I was. I was in the 1,300s already. I want to get it to the 1,400s. Oh, this is not totally in there. Okay, moved it over. Take that free pawn. I know he wants it. And I think he saw that too, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, you saw that. I don't think that's gonna do anything, to be honest. All right, let's do this. Mm-hmm. Um. All right, let's do this. Do that. Move that over. I knew he was gonna do that. Do 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 do. All right, I'm gonna move this over. I'm up a lot here with the time. Let's do this. Yeah, I feel like I should be good here. I'm moving things up. Running him out of time. Um, Actually, should be good to take that. Perfect. Time ran out. Beat him. All right. I'll play just one more. Actually, I'll do one more, and that'll be the end. I think I was gonna do three, but I think two's good enough. I played a lot this morning. Again, like I said, my blitz score has gone down, 1132. So I really need to focus um, while I'm playing these games. But yeah, hopefully 2026 is um, a really good year for the market. I think it's going to be. Like I said, I think with the three interest rate cuts that we got, the fact that the Fed is injecting liquidity into the market by buying back bonds, I think it's going to really help out the market, help out risk on assets like crypto and there are blue chip things like Nvidia and stuff like that. So, but we just got to wait and see. I know a lot of people were expecting 2025 to be a breakout year, but not just yet. Oof, what is he going to do here? Oh, no, that's not it. I think I'm going to get a free piece here. I think. And I think he understands I'm going to get a free piece. Nothing he can do. Yeah, he's stuck. He's like, I'm going to lose this piece. No, you, lost this piece. Oof, getting close. Getting close to losing. And I'm up. I'm up, I'm up, I'm up. Checkmate. He didn't see it. He didn't see that checkmate. All right, guys. So yeah, that's what that's what I'm looking forward to 2026. That's what I'm dialing in on budgeting. Again, I think budgeting is very important. You need to know what's going in, you need to know what's going out, and you need to track it daily, right? Get a whiteboard, get a notebook, put it in your iPhone, your notes, but you need to track what you're spending and set a budget, right, on what's actually what you're actually making. Because again, using that credit card is going to be easy just to go over, and that's where people get in trouble. And then AI is going to be, in my opinion, is still the focus when it comes to investing. Again, I'm not saying which place to play, but you should be dealing with AI in some capacity when it comes to using it on a daily basis, and then also investing in some type of company or building something that's using AI that's going to help you make money. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on Sunday. I will be going live Sunday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.